So I wanted to come on here and talk to everybody because I preach a certain thing to my audience in my book, on my social, and I want everybody to really understand that I see all these things because I need this stuff as much, if not more, than you do. Because you see a certain side of me, doesn't mean that's how I always am. And right now, it is March 30th. My book's actually not even out yet. It's coming out on Wednesday, April 3rd. And I am just at my limit. I am overwhelmed. I am stressed. I had a tough time getting out of bed this morning. I went back to bed at 12 o'clock and took a nap in the middle of the afternoon, which I don't ever, really do. I left the house one time today to go see some friends for a little bit, just to get out of the house and take a shower. I'm in this state where I'm paralyzed, not paralyzed, but pretty close to it, from everything that's looming above. I have, my medical sales job. I have to drive, 3-4 hour drive tomorrow for an account on Monday morning. I have all this travel. I just got back from a trip. I have maybe 10 flights booked in April for work, for the book, for personal, for all these things. I got to balance that with my kids' schedule. I have the consulting with Day Trip Health and what's going on with that and that business. So I have 3 different jobs or businesses. I have the kids. I have Ironman in Boulder looming over my head, which I haven't barely even trained for at all. I've swam once, I've ran twice, and biked about 20 minutes. So I have all these things and these deadlines that are coming up. I have this launch in 4 days and a speaking event on the 4th in Tucson. So I have all this stuff that's happening, and it's a lot. And it's a lot for me to deal with, and I'm struggling. I have friends in town, and I really couldn't go out and see them because I'm not in a really good spot. I've got other stuff that I have to get done, and I'm avoiding it. I'm avoiding doing what I have to do, and so I'm at this place right now where I'm vocalizing. I verbalized some of these frustrations and some of these fears. A lot of it is fear of not succeeding, and the fear that this, all these things that I think or I want to happen aren't going to happen. So in my mind, I'm playing all this and being essentially my own worst enemy and standing in the way of myself from getting where I need to go. So I wanted to share that with you so you can understand that I'm not this person that just goes and doesn't have these moments, days. And I've been in this spot struggling to get this thing going for the past 2 or 3 months, really, since Ironman finished. I was on a high after that, and then really have been struggling for a solid 2 months to really get things done and do what I have to do. And it's been very, very challenging. It's been very emotionally draining. It's been very mentally draining. Physically, I've actually lost weight and not been working out because I just haven't been eating as much because of stress. So I am not immune to this. But I do use the tools that I teach. And so I am aware of what's happening. I know what I have to do to get to the next level. Just knowing that isn't always enough. How am I going to do that? Today, I had a few phone calls and I just let them go through. I didn't pick it up. I didn't want to talk to certain people. I didn't have it in me, and I'm trying to sit with myself and realize that that's okay, that I don't need to say yes to all these things all the time, to take care of myself, because right now I need to get to bed at a decent hour tonight, try and get some work done, and get ready for a drive tomorrow and things after tomorrow, and then come back and pick up my kids on Monday, and get ready for the book launch and the speaking event. So I'm being self-aware. I'm understanding what I can control. And for me, that was cleaning up my room and doing some laundry and making sure the house was picked up. That was probably the biggest win that I had today, and getting out of the house one time. and then tomorrow's another day. So I'm saying this to you so you can really understand that you don't have to do all these things all the time. It's impossible and it's not sustainable. But what is sustainable is having the self-awareness to realize you're going through something, to not make bad decisions. Like, I'm not drinking or in jeopardy of drinking. I don't even think about alcohol. Not getting derailed from that aspect. Just from a mental and emotional standpoint, that when we have things come in our lives, how are we going to navigate that? And that's the whole purpose of mental legacy, is not to put on this facade of things are always going to be all good, because they're not going to be all good. As a matter of fact, they're not going to be they're going to be not good probably more often than they are good. And that's just the way life works. A series of problems, situations, and the more you want to accomplish, the more you want to achieve, the more that's going to happen. So it's like anything else. I'm looking at the situation right now in my life as it's a growth phase. I want to get to here. I'm right here. To take that next level, it's going to be hard. To level up, you have to give what you haven't given before. You have to go through what you haven't gotten before. Same thing with Ironman. I felt this very similar feeling the week leading up to the race. I was a mess. I was a wreck emotionally. My mind was all over the place. I was so worried about this big event. Then after it happened, I had this high. And so I'm feeling that again right now as we get close to the book launch and the video course, which still has to be completed, and all these things that I have to do, my other jobs. And sometimes you got to just stop and realize you're human. It's okay. And you're going to get through it if you take action. If you do what you have to do, whatever that looks like for you, a little at a time. So I'm not through it. I'm not all happy and cheerful on here and saying that I'm through it. I'm in it right now. I'm in the middle of this, and I wanted to record this while I was in it, not after the fact. So I'm just like you. I'm struggling mentally. I'm struggling emotionally. I'm struggling to do things physically right now that I know I should be doing. And so I got to figure out how I'm going to get myself out of this and get to the other side. And I will, because I've done it before. So that part I have confidence in. And I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to do it little by little and figure out what needs to happen and process things as they come and start checking them off my list and build some momentum and do the things that I've done in the past to get where I am here today. So I hope you could relate to some of this and really understand that I am no different. None of us are no different. Doesn't matter how much money you have, how much money you don't have. We all go through these things on a regular basis. I've talked to many people. I've in the dating world and go on and I'm meeting people, and what you see on social media or what you hear about is never what it really seems. Everybody is struggling and everybody is going through something. That doesn't mean you have to be a victim. That doesn't mean you have to lay back and take it. It's going to keep coming. So how are you going to deal with it? How am I going to deal with this? I have these obligations still. What am I going to do? And that's what you will see is I'm going to put together my plan of what needs to happen. I'm going to integrate my leadership traits and be accountable for what I can't control. And I'm going to get to that other side, because for me, failure is just not an option. That's just not how I look at life. So, and by failure, I simply mean not trying. I don't mean it from a monetary standpoint or actually like a win-lose. I mean simply keep going, keep fighting. You never know how close you are to the end. So that's it. I hope it resonated with some of you out there, and maybe it made me seem a little bit more personal. But yeah, we're all in this together. So grab someone close to you that you trust. Grab someone that is in alignment with what you want to do, who you want to be. Get that circle small and tight, and keep trudging forward. Join the community, and do whatever you have to do, because it's not going to stop. The only choice is for you and me to get stronger and learn and grow and build on top of this. And then guess what? It's going to come again, and that's okay, because we'll deal with that when it comes. Thanks, guys.